Hey, awesome people of YouTube, welcome to another 7 Days to Die video. In this one, we're going to be doing 10 tips and tricks for new players for the console edition of the game. Since it recently came out, I compiled some tips and tricks to help you have an easier time progressing and not mess up or end up in a really bad spot, right? But before we get started with the video, I just want to say that if you do enjoy this type of content and want to see more of this game, do let me know by leaving a like, comment, subscribing, and tell me in the comments. Also, we do stream this game every day. We always around 4 p.m. We usually start a bit earlier. We usually go for way too long. And we do have our Discord. You can check those things down in the description. But with that said, let's get started in the video. And the first one is don't rush. You know, when you first spawn in, game tells you to do a bunch of stuff, right? Don't ignore it. Don't start running to everywhere. You know, take a second, breathe, forget where you are, right? Because yes, it might be like, oh, I want to loot everything, ignore everything. You know, just go loot, get to the next zone and be OP, right? Don't rush. Take your time, right? Number 2 is do the starting tutorial, the quest. And what I'm talking about is the basics of survival, right? Just basically get some fiber, wood, stone, get an axe, you know, chop some trees, get a primitive outfit, club, bow, stone arrows. Then, you know, you complete it. You know, if you complete a full challenge, you know, basic survival and so on, you'll get a nice reward, extra reward from a trader on top of getting XP. You know, like 2.5k here, 5k here, or 500. No, not a huge amount of XP, but it helps. It kind of helps you, helps teach you the game a little more. You know, because like harvest rotting flesh, you know, and it tells you what you can get: animal corpses, human corpses, and body bags, and how to harvest it. Right, that is really helpful. Right, so make sure you don't rush and do the starting quest, the tutorial. Number 3 is loot everything. Out in the world, when I get there, you will have a lot of looting opportunities, right? There's a lot of looting things, and sometimes you might be like, oh, it might not as useful, it might not be good, but do loot it, you know? Because over here, I don't think we have any. There might be a trash bag, and I cleared it out, but do check it out and loot it. And the reason why is you might have some really nice supplies for you, some very basic. You might have a little bit of iron, a little bit of wood that you need, stone, maybe some seeds, which you might think are not as important, but they are, right? And you see corn like this, go ahead and punch it, you know, get some free loot, right? Now, next, number 4 is scrap. If you see metal chairs or office chairs or any other pick up items, you should pick them up and you'll be able to scrap them. Okay? It'll tell the button to scrap. For me, since I'm using mouse and keyboard, there's S. You can see I get some iron. If you're out looting, for example, and you find metal pipes or whatever, and you don't want to hold on to them and you already have iron, just scrap it. It is really nice. Right? Another thing, since you're going to be looting a lot, is make sure you invest in the perception, this lucky looter, right? Because it gives you more loot bonus and allows you to loot faster. At max, you get 25% loot bonus and loot faster. I didn't spec into it because I'm playing with a buddy who is in this tree. If you're playing in a duel and you have somebody who went that way, you can go to intellect and pick up charismatic nature, but you give them an additional 20% better loot and +1 attributes. So that. Now, once you've done all that, you're wanting to try to build a base, not building a POI or point of interest, because they do reset after a certain amount of time, and there might be a quest for you to do in there. Don't build in them, because they will reset and you have a chance of losing stuff, right? it is better to build a custom base, you know, something small starting. You see in my base, it is really really basic. Wouldn't even have the wooden floors. My buddy is still making fun of me for that for a while, but do that. You can build a small, you can make it a little bigger, just something starting to help you. We upgraded it, have a wall now, but do that. Once you meet the trader, you might want to do some quests, right? Because they kind of help you in progression, right? When you complete some amount of quests, you'll get to the next tier. Now, when you do quest, it will bring you to a certain POI. If it's a brand new POI, like, for example, if it took me to this place, to the UFO Museum, see, my first UFO Museum, if I have not done it, I would suggest running it, clearing it, getting loot, getting familiarized where every enemy spawns and where they're at. That way, when you've done it, start the quest, and you'll be able to know where to go and how to do stuff. You know, have easier time. Also, bonus, if you see that airdrop, make sure you go for it. It has good stuff. And an extra bonus, if you get old money, don't scrap it. Don't be like me at the start. Save it, because you can sell it to a trader for Duke coins, right? Next, right? Once you get your first starting base, make sure you have a horde base, because you don't want to build the base like out in the open, because it will get surrounded by a horde, right? The very first horde, it might not be as bad, but eventually will get harder and harder. And your horde base is just for that, for the horde night, right? This base was not meant to be a horde base. We survived a little bit. Day 14 was really bad, died a bunch. Day 21 we built the wall and surrounded it, but for the first 7 it took us a lot of wooden spikes, and then we got them to metal or iron spikes. And the reason why I don't recommend doing this is because you can see they can attack from everywhere, and it takes a lot of materials to, well, as you can see, to surround it and barricade it. It is not worth it. So you definitely want to build a horde base, and I will take you there and show you. There are many iterations I took, and I built mine. I don't remember where I saw, but there's multiple versions of it, and you can customize it to your own liking. You're playing solo, duo, trio, or 4 people or more, if you're NPC. You know, be able to customize it to your liking. And this is a horde base, something like this. And the reason why is there's one entrance where the enemy will have to go up. You can make this simple one, you can make more complicated ones, you know, well, not necessarily super complicated, but simple but not super complicated, to where the enemies, you can see, has to jump, drop down, get electrocuted by our traps, keep getting electrocuted while we shoot him from here, or if my buddy wants to, he can go up in a second floor and shoot him, while my setup, I shoot from there, and they keep jumping, getting stun locked. Make sure you have multiple traps, and they can get pushed off by our sledgehammer trap, or that trap by sledgehammer robot right there. So this is something just for the raid, horde base, not the raid, just for the horde. Really helpful, right? Now, next, this is not in an order, is when you start, one of the original things or tutorials is to get yourself a perimeter outfit and wear it, right? It'll be level 1. As you pick up books and learn better armor, make sure you upgrade it, even if it's primitive. Do not build tier 6 because it'll take legendary parts. Save those. Build tier 5, for example. And then later, when you get unlocked light armor, medium, and heavy, pick the set that you want or pieces from the set, and then work on upgrading them because they'll give you more armor. Same thing for the weapons, you know. Robotics, so I was able to upgrade my pipe baton to better, and eventually a stun baton. Or if you're specializing, for example, in blades, you know, go from bone to hunting, then eventually to machetes, and with clubs and so on. Get upgrades, because as the time goes on, enemies get harder, and they will hit harder, so you don't want to take as much damage, and you want to deal the most damage. Get those upgrades. Speaking with that, don't underestimate the mods. And what I mean is, mods like Bandolier, you know, Because what it does is 15% faster reload or improved fitting. So I get a little bit more stamina, I have more mobility. Or on a guns. For example, this one's, right? Drum mag, more ammo. Shotgun chuck to where it tightens my spread. Laser sight just so I have easier time aiming. And this retracting stock time. Or if you're using melee, always make sure you have rad remover mod because it is amazing. The radiant zombies will not be able to regen. And put stuff to where they have chance to stun and slow enemies. And for stun button, you can send them flying, yeeting them. And ergonomic to where they decrease, use less stamina and get more handling, or the stuff that helps me keep it from breaking down faster. So mod your weapons, mod your armor. One of the most OP mods is, well, pocket mods. Because you can see quad, I get plus 4 carry capacity, plus 3, plus 1. So I could literally rock just 2 of them with my armor, right? Because my armor gives me more carry capacity, to where I don't need to take a perk from strength called Pack Mule, allow me to save a lot more points. That's why modding is really helpful, right? Now, that brings us to the very end. I believe that's all 10 tips. Sorry, I was a bit all over the place. But if you have any other tips or tricks that you want to see, more advanced ones and more end games, do let me know. Or if you have your own tips and tricks that you want to pass on to other people, do leave them down in the comments. And hopefully this helped you out, have an easier time in the game. But with that said, hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to stay awesome. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.